In this Varna you find another feature. The Anupallavi has got 4 avartas, that too in an Atatala Varna. Now, about this Atatala Varna, we have to note one point. Invariably, why invariably? In every Varna, the Tana Varna particularly, the composition starts on the 3rd akshara of the Tala. 1, 2, 3. 3rd akshara of the Tala. Now, what's the purpose behind it? What is the reason for it? There is no extraordinary reason to be apprehended, excepting that to have something like a period of stress as early as possible. That's the only question. When you start this Varna on the 3rd akshara, 1, 2, 3, 4, you get a point of stress. But if you start the Tana Varna on Sama, that is along with the commencement of the Tala, Samagraha, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th akshara will give you that point of stress. To my mind, this is the only plausible reason for the conventional starting, for the traditional starting of the Tana Varna on the 3rd akshara of the Tana. This Varna, Belagari Varna, furnishes one of the earliest Tana Varnas, an advanced Tana Varna with certain marked features about it. Now, the characteristic features with regard to the Dhatu, Matu and Tala of any Tana Varna. The physical format is the same, just the same in any Varna. Either it be a Tana Varna or a Pada Varna or a Chauka Varna. Now, what is the Tana Varna? Why should it be called Tana Varna is the question. Tana means permuting and combining. Tanyate iti tanaha. Tanyate iti tanaha. Permuting and combining swaras. Kuta tana, Shuddha tana, Kuta tana, Asampurnasya sampurna vikramoccharita swaraha, Murchanaha, Kutatanaha tat sankhyaam abhidad mahe. Kutatanas are irregular in permutation and combination. And the number of Kutatanas are also given. Actually, they have been numbered and given even in the appendix of the Sangeeta Ratnakara, of the Anandashrama edition of the Sangeeta Ratnakara, as published, printed and published by the Theosophical Publishing House, as edited by Pandit Subramanya Shastri. Shuddhatana is regular order of permuting, combining. Kutatana is Vakra, is irregular permuting and combining. One Tana, Kutatana is got from 1 swara, 2 from 2, 3 from 6. 6 swara, 3 swaras, from out of 3 swaras you get 6 Tanas. And like that. From out of swaras, 7 swaras you get 5040 Tanas. Now these Tanas have played a very important role. Varnas, Alankaras and Tanas, Murchanas, they have played a very significant role in the music of the earlier period. References to Varna and Alankara and Tana are given not only in musical literature but also in sacred and secular non-musical literature. Vayu Purana, Brahmanda Purana, Vishnu Purana all make mention of these Chatur Varnas, Chaturdasha Murchanas, 63 Alankaras, 33 Alankaras, one say 33, one say another says 63, whatever it is. This Varna and Alankara have been an important chapter. Now, there was the other concept of the Chatur Dandi as promulgated by Gopal Naik of the 14th century AD. This Gopal Naik, one of the southern stalwarts, was taken, perhaps kidnapped, I do not know. He was taken to Alauddin's court, where he was made the counterpart of Amir Khusro. This Gopal Naik makes mention of the concept, promulgated the concept of Chaturdandi, Gita, Alapa, Thaya and Prabandha. Now of these fourfold channels of musical expression, the Gita and Prabandha or Nibadha Sangita, they are musical compositions. Alapa and Thaya, they are the musical forms. We must be in a position to distinguish between a musical form and a musical composition. All musical compositions are musical forms, but all musical forms will not be musical compositions. A beautiful raga of Kalyani is a musical form. It is a raga alapana form of the raga. Oh, he has presented the form of the raga very properly. But that is not a composition. But when you sing even a Gita, Kamala Jadala, Gita, that becomes a composition. Because there is the dhatu, the elements of dhatu, matu and tada. Now, this thaya is again the permuting and combining of swaras. The thayas developed into tanas, chitta tanas, set phrases, small, tiny phrases, allowable and permissible phrases in the raga, kansa. These chitta tanas constituted the lexicon or the nigantu. Vyasakatakam was one such lexicon in the possession of Tyagaraja. He himself referred, Tyagaraja himself, no less than a composer than Tyagaraja himself, referred to the Vyasakatakam once at the instance of one of his disciples to verify whether that Sarigarisa was allowable, permissible in Raga Balahamsa. So goes the story. Now these chitta tanas formed actually the backbone for the evolution of this musical composition Tana. Then another explanation of the term Tana. Tana is rightly, wrongly or wrongly has come to be identified with Madhyama Kala or medium tempo. There is both the absolute concept and relative concept of the term Madhyama Kala. Vilamba Kala, Madhyama Kala, and Dhrita. Vilamba Laya, Madhya Laya, and Dhrita Laya. And there are inter variations like Vilamba Madhya, Vilamba Dhrita, and Madhya Vilamba, Madhya Madhya, Madhya Dhrita. Some 9 layas, 9 kinds of layas or tempos have been indicated in our musical scriptures. So Madhyama Kala, we have to take it as a medium tempo. Here is what's the absolute part of it. When it comes to the question of relative theory, it's only Prathama Kala, Dvitiya Kala and Tritiya Kala. There, the Dvitiya and Tritiya Kalas are respectively relative of Madhyama Kala to the preceding Kalas. But when the Tana Varna is sung in Madhyama Kala, in a simple medium tempo, it is only Madhyama Kala. That came to be known as Tana later on. It was actually called Makarani or Vartani in books of earlier period. Even what do you call Chaturdandi Prakashika of Venkatamaki does not make mention of the word Madhyama Kala or Tana singing as part of the Raga Alapana. He says only Makarani, Vartani. And Sangita Sara also. Of course, that is, Sangita Sara is much prior to Chaturdandi. So, the Swarasthana, the Swara combinations rendered in a Vilamba Kala or Madhyama Kala became the patent feature of the Tanavarna. The Tanavarna. In between Tanavarna and Saukavarna and Padavarna, I don't find any difference, much difference between the Saukavarna and Padavarna. Now, to enable you to understand actually the musical mold of the Tanavarna and the musical mold of the Saukavarna and Padavarna, I'll give an illustration.